Hi fellow inline pilots, today I'd like to reveal what seems to be an unintentional secret to a stable T-stop or a drag stop or a T-brake or an L brake, whatever you want to call it. The T-stop is one of the most reliable stopping methods in inline skating. It can deal with things that other braking methods such as the power slide actually can't deal with, which is like cracks in the road and uneven pavement, bricks, etc. So the T-stop can deal with that, and you can just brake wherever you want. So it's really one of the most useful braking methods that you can learn. But as a beginner, it's very difficult to learn it because it's very difficult to keep that sliding, that dragging foot behind you at the right place. It will either move back forwards next to you, like here, or even worse, it can also drag behind you and cause you to turn around and possibly fall if you don't know how to do a mohawk transition like I'm doing here. So even though it's one of the safest way to brake when you know it, to learn it can actually be quite a tricky business. Of course you can instead try to change the sides from one side to the other, and then before you lose your balance you just switch over to the other side, but of course, let's be honest, it doesn't look very nice, and it's not really the perfect solution. So here's the secret, that once I figured this out, I was able to learn a stable drag stop in 1 or 2 skating sessions, while actually I was trying to learn it for almost 2 years without really getting there. But this is really what helped me to get there finally. So when you're dragging that foot behind you, the way to control it is by placing your weight either on the front or the back. So when you put your weight on the back wheel, the heel, the skate will move forwards, so it will move next to you again. It will turn forwards next to you. But when you do the opposite, when you put your weight on the front wheel, on your toe, the dragging foot will slide sideways and backwards. So it will try to turn behind you and try to turn you around eventually, unless you stop it before going there. And then when you change between the front and the back, so pushing on the toe or the heel, to control your position, you can actually put your foot back to where it needs to be before it goes too far the wrong direction. And the response to changing your weight is a bit delayed, so you have to anticipate how you're going to move. So actually before you start sliding, dragging in the wrong direction, you already have to swap your weight to the other side. But if you keep trying it, knowing that it works like this, it will become more automatic. Your muscle memory will take over, it will understand what happens, and it will quickly find how to control your foot, the position of your dragging foot, without you having to think about it eventually. So you can just start out by doing a T-stop and dragging on your heel and see how the dragging foot moves forwards back next to you. And then do that a couple of times to see that it really works like that. And then after that you can try the opposite direction. Try to drag on your toe and see how the dragging foot will turn backwards behind you. But of course you have to stop and lift up your foot before it's too late, otherwise you'll turn too far and maybe fall down. And then try to change between putting the weight on the toe and on the heel in order to keep the position of your dragging foot at the right place behind you, which is kind of next to you, behind you, not exactly behind you. And then just by changing the weight, try to anticipate where your foot is going and do the opposite in order to get your foot back already. And eventually you should be able to do it in a way that your foot will never go too far one way or the other way, and you just can keep on dragging on that foot until you end into a stop, or you just continue skating. Of course, it's very difficult to keep dragging in a T-stop until a full stop, because when you go slower, you have less speed and you have less motion that you can actually control. Therefore, in the end, usually I prefer to do a stepping plow or a lunge stop, to do the final stop. But for the slowing down from high speed until you're going slow, the T-stop will work very reliably if you're able to control the position of that foot. I'm really surprised that I've never come across any instruction video on the T-stop that mentions this method of controlling the position of your dragging foot. The closest I've seen is Polly Morris. She mentioned that if you drag on your toe, it causes you to turn around backwards. And she mentions that more like a warning instead of a method that's part of controlling the position of your dragging foot. So I don't know exactly why nobody mentioned this. Maybe I'm imagining this, but I think it's really true. And leave a comment below if you also notice that it works like this. But I think it's kind of the same as what I also mentioned in the video about the scissors position, that people learn this in the beginning by just trying out, and their legs learn it for them. They don't actually consciously learn how it works. And therefore they think it's just about placing your foot at a certain place. But actually they miss the subtle differences that your body is doing to control the placement of those feet. I think that's the reason. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. In any case, I wanted to bring this to beginners to benefit from, like I did, and learn it much quicker than they would otherwise learn, because it's really important to get good braking methods that work in all situations, like the T-stop, the drag stop. Of course, it's not the only way you should learn. You should also have other braking methods for different situations and have a set of tools to brake and to slow down and to stop. But this one is really something everybody, I think, should learn who's doing inline skating, especially on the street. And I hope this helps you to learn it better and to get it more safe, more reliable. So thank you for listening, for watching this video. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Bye!